Boom. Hey, everybody. It's Johnny O from the Plot Hole, and good afternoon. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and all the mother wannabes. You'll get your chance, I'm sure. Oh, that joke works so much better in my head. All right. I feel like we need a little bit of levity before we get into today's show. It's a special report. We're going to try and do what we can to keep everything civil in the side chat. It's one thing to have an honest discussion, debate, whatever, back and forth, but let's not be nasty about it because, again, we are here trying to get all the bullshit out, get it, just get it out, get it done with, and move on. That's the idea. There's going to be some things that were said today that are going to be inflammatory, I'm sure, like the fact that I just mumbled that entire sentence. I need sleep. Have a lot of people in the side chats. Good to see you. Let me know if we need slow-mo. I don't think we do, but we'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to bring in both of my guests today. I'm going to have them unmute, and here we go. Let's do this one. I like that one better. I've got Punchy. Hello, Punchy.
Hello.
And then Quitties. How are we doing? How are we guys
doing?
Hey. All right. So the reason why I have you guys on today is because you both contacted me and said there was some things that you wanted to get off your chest, particularly dealing with the whole Ilya Moon sit down with the bunkers situation. There's some things that went on in the background that you think are relevant to the statements that she's made publicly. So yeah, that's kind of what we got you guys going on here today, correct?
Yeah.
And like I said, I want to make this very clear from the start. This isn't some kind of thing where I'm going to dig into a lot of personal things or anything that happened behind the scenes. I more or less want to talk on the things that she herself made public, so that way I can kind of do my best to clarify things from my angle at the very least. Like, just because
our perspective, being on the channel with her at the time she was doing this, and what we saw, and a little behind the scenes stuff that hasn't come out publicly yet. Just want to clarify all of that.
Yeah, because basically, since this has been going on, since the whole exposés have come out, and since she's been kind of been called out for doing what she did, I more or less want to speak on that. And that's because I've seen a lot of things in side chats and a lot where people were saying stuff, and I was like, no, that's not exactly what happened, at the very least to my knowledge during the time. So I just kind of want to kind of touch on that. That's kind of the main purpose of this. It will be a one and done. This is going to be my and Quitty's statements on it, and after this, fucking done.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think it's important to get this shit out so we can move on as a community and as people. So, yes. Now, Punchy, you said that there were some things that were said in side chats that were a little incorrect. Can you give me a specific?
One that I saw was two that I saw. One of the two being was that at one point I had said, I forget which video it was in. It's either a side chat or a comment that I left. But I had said that after the stream and after we had kind of gotten into it, it being Ilya and myself, she had told me a couple weeks after the stream that she had gotten stage 3 cancer and I could be wrong here because a long time ago it was her leg, and because she said, and I'm paraphrasing here, she said, listen, I was diagnosed with whatever cancer in my leg stage, but she did say stage 3, that I know for sure. And I just want to let you know, in case I don't make it, that you changed my life for the better, and I learned stuff, and I had a good time with you and all that. And I was thinking, I appreciate the sentiment, but the fact that you had to lie about stage 3 cancer in your leg to say that is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and
so this is
this was something that.
Go ahead.
This was something that would happen a lot. She would use things like that just to gain sympathy points. She did that a lot with our channel. We had a Discord DM for the channel. We just called it SDWD General. And, most of the time it was just us in there BSing and talking about our day and and everything like that. And she would come in and, try to play the sympathy card. That's how she emotionally manipulated a lot of people. I know, everyone that donated to her cancer fundraiser, she emotionally manipulated by saying she had cancer. And she did that to everyone in the channel as well, whether it was to the extent, that they gave hundreds of dollars to her or whatever, or just, I'm so sorry, I hope you feel better, something like that. She just used emotional manipulation as a tool to get attention.
Yeah, and like I said, when she said that, I was like, no, you probably don't. But keep in mind, this is still a little bit after the fact, not obviously not not after she had been exposed. So I didn't have much to say. All I can say for sure is that I don't personally believe her. She said that because if you have stage 3 cancer, or I shouldn't say if you have it, I should say if you're diagnosed with it, it doesn't just go away. And well, with her, it did. And if you have this magical self-healing cancer, can you please give us the secret? Because
so wait a minute. This happened. She had stage 3 cancer after she was exposed for lying about cancer.
No, not after she was exposed.
No, that
Is after
she told Punchy that in what,
Yeah, no,
January or February, something like that.
Again, I forget the exact the date of it, and I'm not gonna go scroll through all my chats to find it. But so, I'll start from the beginning. So what I wanted to do was tell everyone how I was given the information by her as to how she got cancer. So maybe I'll go through the whole story and I'll kind of touch on everything as I go. How's that sound?
That's fair.
Okay. So what initially happened was, this is back in either when was it?
It was, I think September or October, like early October maybe.
Yeah, so I think because my lung collapsed back in, I think, mid-September, and that was when I was off work. So it was before that when she first talked about it. The reason being is because back when I was still with her, I would always I would talk to her on the drive home from work every day, right? I'd call her, and so I remember I was driving home from work one day, and she was like, when I called her, she was fucking like yelling at the top of her lungs, not at me, but just to someone on the phone when I was with her. And she was saying, yeah, because she was telling me that her ex-husband had come around with some random floozy, if you want to call her that. Sorry if that bugged you, but some random floozy, and so they had come there either to harass her or to get something from her. That part I don't remember, but she was, like I said, literally yelling at the top of her lungs, saying, "Yeah, this fucking cunt, and I'm gonna fucking do this." And then she said, "Okay, listen, Punchy, I'll call you back." And I was like, "Okay." So I was driving home, and then a couple minutes had passed by. Now, when I say a couple of minutes, it could have been a couple of minutes to half an hour. I forget the time frames here. But so she called me back eventually, and then when she called me back, she's like, "Okay, I followed these assholes back to wherever they were staying, and I'm in the parking lot right now, or not the parking lot, so the driveway right now." And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, and again, I'm feeling sorry for her because I'm thinking that they had done this and they're trying to piss her off. So she's like, "Yeah, I'm in the fucking driveway, and I'm fucking." And she's like, "You that fucking cunts over there, I'm gonna fucking go. They're not fucking get away from this one." And I'm like, "All right." And it's like, "I'll call you back." I'm like, "Okay." So again, I'm sitting in my car, and I was in my driveway at this point, waiting for it. And so I'm sitting there, just twiddling my thumbs. So she calls me back, and again, it's between, let's say, a couple minutes and half an hour, for the exact time frame. And so she called me back. She's like, "Yeah, I just got punched in the face by this stupid bitch." And I'm thinking, "Oh shit, like, are you okay?" Like that kind of stuff, right? And so that kind of goes for a little bit, and then I think it was a couple days later. And she said that because she had gotten punched in the face by that chick, that she had to go get some work done on some of her teeth because it was punched in the jaw.
Yeah, she was saying she had a toothache, and she posted a picture of her face where the girl punched her, to show quote unquote proof that she had been punched, but her face didn't look any different than normal. Maybe swollen a tiny bit, but there was no bruising or anything in the picture.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah, she started complaining about a toothache, which is why she was going to the dentist.
yes.
Gotcha.
And then, so
Really
needless
quick,
to say,
for five freedom units, Cygnus TSP says, "You're a fair-minded man, Johnny. Thanks for taking the time to do this. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much."
awesome. But yeah, and so like I said, after she had talked about her needing to go to the dentist, that's when she, went to the dentist, and that's when the dentist had taken some X-rays, and then they noticed that there was a tumor on I believe it was the left side of her jaw, and so that's when she had told me privately. She said, "Punchy, the dentist had taken some X-rays, and there was shown to be a tumor, and they looked at it, and it's believed to be, cancerous." And so that's when she asked me to tell at the time the group chat that we had, about that. So I was like, okay, well, listen, group chat, this is what's going on, and of course we all took it seriously because most people don't lie about that kind of thing, right? It's
Yeah.
most people. I want to make that very clear. Most people.
Yeah,
And so Roxy Lowry just put, or what I'm seeing right now in the YouTube video is her chat is, or not her chat, her comment is that she says, "I remember her telling us that the girlfriend hit her, but told the community that her ex-husband beat her." Now here's the thing, she told all of us both of that a lot, and so her stories don't add up at all. But I will get back on track here. Yeah.
hang on. I want to reply to this super chat. Johnny, you want to read it out and then I'll reply to it?
Thalo Blue, thank you, Bob Ross, for $4.99. I think those are euros. Can you talk about the catfishing allegations?
And we will
Yes.
get into that more in depth in a little bit, especially something that she told me when I met her in person. But yeah, that will be covered here in a little while.
Yeah, like I said, everything that she personally made public, we will touch on. I'm not going to get into the personal stuff because it's just, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, so we will get on to it, yes. But like I said, so where do we leave off here? So yeah, after she had claimed that the girl that was with her ex had hit her, as I said, and she even showed me a picture of an X-ray with a tumor, and the tumor even had a red circle drawn around it. And I wish I still had it because at the time I didn't think to do a reverse image search. And I can almost guarantee that if I did do one, that it would have showed that it was just something she pulled off of Google because she did that a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Anywho, back to what's going on with this. So yeah, like I said, she had talked about that, and then so after it was brought, after the attention was brought to the entire channel that she had cancer, or as she told us at least, we obviously wanted to help because, well, she was our friend at the time, and of course back then, as much as I hate to say it, I was in love with her, so of course we wanted to do what we could to try and help her out, and that's when the whole idea of a charity stream came up. Now, I have been asked by a couple of people. I'm not going to name names, but I've been asked if the charity stream was our idea or her idea, and that I honestly can't remember. But I do think it's
the way that she makes it out. She makes it seem as if you guys pressured her into doing this charity stream.
Okay, hang on just a second before we answer that. I just found out it was December 15th when she claimed to have a second cancer. She said, "I have another osteosarcoma in my shin and it's stage 3.
That's the one, yep.
Jason Bourne for $4.99 says, "What do you guys think about her confession to Nate? Do you think Rez is stupid or part of it?" Sean and Ilya. I have made my thoughts on that one perfectly clear.
Well, I'll put it this way.
I haven't seen strong evidence one way or the next. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence, and I tend to think that he's an idiot at best. That's all I'll say.
Well, I'll put it this way. I think Rez was just he was just someone who thought Ilya was a friend who wouldn't lie to him, and he did the exact same thing that we did. He just supported her because, again, when someone you think is a friend tells you something, it doesn't matter who the friend is, whether it's online or in person. When it's something that serious, you're generally not going to question it. And in the case of Red, he did receive a lot of fraudulent documents from Ilya, and because she's a piece of shit, he was inclined to believe her, and I don't think that he was a part of it. Because you have to remember, we'll get back to this. Everyone, shut up in the side chat. We're gonna fucking get to this, okay?
No,
I'm slowly
don't
getting
shut up
there.
in the side chat. Don't listen to
Yeah.
Punchy.
Yeah, just
Don't
stop
listen to me.
typing every
It doesn't
line.
matter.
Let Punchy talk.
People already don't like me. I'm probably more hitting me. Anywho, so where did I leave off now? Okay, so yes, right. Like I was saying, after she had told me to tell the rest of the channel that she had she was diagnosed with cancer in her jaw, we all talked, and so naturally, like I said, we all encouraged her to do something about it in terms of finances.
Well, she also played a numbers game in our DM chat, saying, "Oh, well, they're saying it's gonna cost this much, and which means I'm gonna owe this much," and threw a bunch of numbers out, and who knows where she got the numbers? She might have just been pulling them straight from her ass. But eventually she basically said that she's going to owe something like $6,000. I don't remember the exact amount. I'm not in that DM anymore, so I can't go look it up.
Yeah, well, and if I remember correctly, when it comes to the numbers, she said is something around 10,000, I believe, and she said that insurance was covering a certain percentage of that, and so she would be left with whatever insurance didn't cover. Now that number, the exact number I forget, but I think it was around 5,000, give or take, 1,000 or two.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the exact numbers. But anyway, and again, keep in mind, and for me, I live in Canada. I've never gotten a medical bill once in my life because, people care about people here. Anywho.
Because of socialism, Peter Collins for 79 Czechoslovakian or Czech crowns. Sorry, not Czechoslovakian anymore. Thank you for being a beacon of honesty and truth. You are very welcome, and thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, so she comes at you guys with this insane number, and I say insane number because here in the States, we know that if you go to the hospital and get an aspirin, that's going to cost you $500. So to see that $6,000 of what I need to pay for my cancer treatments.
See, and again, to me, like the number itself means nothing because I literally have no idea what it costs, and also the costs do vary when it comes to, like, say, medication. Because so in Canada, like, healthcare is free, but medication and other things are not free, and you are covered depending on the benefits you have at whatever company you happen to work for. So that does cost money, and that I'm to an extent familiar with. But again, I'm only 30 and I'm healthy, so even then I haven't really dealt with it, right? Minus a couple of times when things have happened. So if she were to mention things like, say, healthcare and all that, even though the numbers could be skewed from my opinion, it still means nothing because the numbers are just so much different in different countries anyway. But
yeah, and insurance here in the US is confusing enough that if you throw a few numbers out that sound realistic, no one that trusts you on a personal level at the time would think twice about it. I mean, my insurance, I know I have a 20% copay for most hospital procedures or anything like that, and that's basically what she made those numbers look like, was a 20% copay.
Yeah, so there you go.
So they were believable on the surface, so none of us thought to even dig deeper into them or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. So anywho, back to the story though. So like I said, this is the point where she started mentioning numbers, as Quitties and I both said. And so at the time, and like I said, I don't know what shit costs when it comes to healthcare. So she said, okay, I'll need roughly this amount. This is the estimate. And by the way, Johnny, I did send you those estimates that she had sent me, and they looked fake as fuck looking back on it. Because like I said, when I first got them, I had no reason to not believe them. I didn't look into it because I didn't really give a shit. I just thought, well, someone I care about has cancer, so we're going to going to do what I can about this.
Yeah, and let me clarify real quick, because she knew that when I got into this community, it was actually my mom was dying of cancer, and when she was in the hospital, I would go out for a cigarette and pull out my phone and watch YouTube videos while I was smoking, and started watching, Simon Dan, Conspiracy Cats, Cool Hard Logic, things like that. That's how I got into this community. So, you know, uh, by saying it's cancer, she really tugged at my heartstrings, and of course, I had no reason to doubt her, because why would you do that, knowing that I had just lost my mom a year and a half earlier to cancer? That's about the lowest thing you could possibly do to a friend.
Yeah, well, and not just a friend, to a whole community, because
Yeah.
she damn well knew that she was making this public to the community, not just our little group. So I should say she knew, but she probably didn't. 'Cause she's fucking pretty stupid. but
Yeah.
I mean, clearly. But anywho, so
I
she
don't know.
should have.
I think it was the manipulation factor there. I don't think it's that she was stupid. I just think that that's part of the manipulation. That's part of that
Well,
control
no,
element.
but the reason I say she's stupid is because no
She
one with
doesn't
half
do
a
a
brain.
good job covering up
And no
her
one with half a
lies.
brain, no one with half a brain would lie to an entire community about cancer, because anyone with half a brain would realize that someone is going to look into it. Now, obviously, we didn't at the time, because anywho, so everyone shut up. I'm gonna get back to the story here. We're getting sidetracked. Okay, so like I said, we're at the point now where she had kind of told us the amount that she needed, give or take, let's say $1,000 or $2,000. So that's where we were. And like I said, because I know that a certain person, I'm not going to say who, he had asked me recently if it was Ilya who had suggested the stream or if we did. And that I honestly cannot remember, because it was just, again, a long time ago. And also, I don't know if we encouraged her to do it or if she had mentioned it and then we encouraged her. Either way, I'm not going to apologize for encouraging a friend, who I thought was a friend, to do something to help her out with, at what I thought at the time were medical goals. So anyway, so that's when we had the idea to do the cancer stream, whether it was us or her, I can't remember. So then eventually after that, at some point, because at the time she was friends with Red's Rhetoric. And Red's Rhetoric, and I want to make this very clear. I spoke to Reds on Monday last week, and he was fucking pissed. And I do not think for 1 second that for anyone who thinks that he may have been involved in it, I do not think that whatsoever. He was just a good friend, like we all were, and he was trying to help her out, and that's why he let us use his platform to do so. And so and again, after all this shit came out recently with her, potentially lying and scam people, that's why he was standing up for her, because he was a friend, and she also sent him a lot of fraudulent documents, which she had altered.
And because no one is going to lie about having cancer.
You'd think so, right?
You would think so.
Yeah. But anywho, so back on track here. So like I said, after that, Res Rhetoric he had told her or someone that we could use his channel for the stream, which at the time seemed fucking amazing, because I'm not sure what he has now, but he had 30,000 subs, whereas we had 3,500. I want to make that quote very clear, because someone
yeah,
they probably had like 150 real subs. but so either way, regardless of how many subs there were for each channel, he had more. And so to me, and I think the rest of the channel, because we all cared about it at the time, it was, we're like, oh, that's fucking amazing, right? Like, thank you very much. And I did thank him a lot on the stream that we're on, just saying thank you, because you have a bigger following than we do. So the more people that can hear about this, the more people that can, potentially donate. So then we had the stream. And then it's right after that when shit really went south. Like for me and Ilya specifically, and then a couple of other things. So we had the stream, as I said, and then things were going good for a little bit. And then at one point, Ilya told me, she's like, hey, we have to talk. And I'm like, okay, what's up? And she's like, well, because, so this is a bit personal here, but I'll say it just because it has to do with this. Before this had all happened, we had obviously made plans to meet up, and we had plans to eventually live together. And the plan was she was going to move here to Winnipeg, and we would, kind of go from there. Reason being, because when you're in a long distance relationship, those are kind of kinks you have to work out right from the beginning. Otherwise, it might not work, right? Anywho, so she had messaged me saying, yeah, we need to talk. And so she's like, yeah, so, well, just given all that's been going on and with the cancer that I have, I've come to realize that if I were to move to Winnipeg, I'm not going to have my family there. I'm not going to have my support group and all that. And honestly, you would be my only friend if I were to move there. And so and I was like, honestly, that's super fair. It is a big decision, and I would never, ever, ever put it on someone to uproot their entire life just because of, a little crush, right? So that's when we did split up initially. And it was fine. It was friendly. It was mutual. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, obviously we were both, just sad from it, but there was no hard feelings. And then a couple weeks later, we were doing a stream on our at the time channel, Sit Down with Debunkers, and that's when she was talking about how no one loves her and all that. And I was thinking, well, I'm kind of here like fighting for you, because after that happened, I was thinking, okay, maybe we did get a bit whatever. We reacted a bit too quickly and all that, etc., etc. And so then she eventually, so Schrodinger's cat was at the time, a person from the community was in the channel. Oh, I fucked that up. Anyway, I don't care. Anyway, and so she said that that she had gone to, because I'm getting off track here. Before that had happened, she had. I was supposed to go there on the second week of November to visit her, right? Now, we had split up about a week or two before that. And even if we didn't split up, I still had the laryngitis at the time. And normally it's not a big deal. But laryngitis is a COVID symptom because your voice is gone. So I couldn't fly down there. So she had gone... So she had that week off already because I was supposed to go down there. Now, when I said that I couldn't go down there, she told the channel that her company had offered her a business trip to go to Alabama, or somewhere right around Alabama. So again, none of us thought anything of it, and so she went to Alabama, and all was fine. And then a couple weeks later, she told me that she had gone there and she met up with a person from this community, and they did whatever. Now that in itself, I don't care about. I wouldn't expect anyone else in the side chat to care about that because that's a personal thing, whatever. But what I'm thinking is, yeah, I do find it funny how right after that, the stream, she happens to go on a trip. Now, again, she can say it's a business trip. I don't think it was. I think that trip was paid for by herself, including the plane flights and the hotels and whatever else, food, etc. So I'm curious where that money came from, because before that she was broke as fuck, in her own words.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So that's part of the investigation on my side, was matching up the timelines of what I knew to have occurred versus what she said to have occurred. And yeah, that was one of the biggest things. That was a huge red flag on that really got me to go back and start looking at more of the documents and seeing what was.
And it was for me too, but you have to understand, when she told me about that, obviously I was very upset because I was at the time still in love with her. And of course, it did hurt me a lot. So when I looked into it, I spoke to a couple of people. I'm not going to say who, but I spoke to a couple of people, and obviously we had our suspicions, but given that we didn't have sufficient evidence, there's just nothing to really go off of. And also, as I've told a lot of people, if I were to have said anything at the time, let's be honest, I would have come off as the jealous ex. And they're like, oh, Punchy's just pissed off and trying to fucking ruin her, because that's literally exactly what she said.
Well, let's go back for a second here, because like Punchy said, she seemed to be broke all the time, and she borrowed money from people a lot. She borrowed money from me. She borrowed money from Punchy. She borrowed money from other people on the channel as well. Uh, and it seems like every time she borrowed money from anyone, uh, our subs ended up growing at a very strange rate
At
of
an
exactly
exponential rate.
250 per week,
Yeah,
regardless of how many views we got.
you guys had more
And
subs than views, and it was
yeah,
significantly
Oh, it was
more.
ridiculous. And
and
okay, wait, hold on.
hang on. I never paid attention to subs and views. I did not carry that. Uh, I didn't care about that whatsoever. Uh, it was actually after all of this happened, after I left the channel, that I was talking to Punchy, and he said, "Dude, you know there were subs being bought, right?" I was like, I mean, we talked about it one time in our DM, but then I went and looked, and our streams were getting 100 views per stream, but we were getting
Oh,
250
not
subs.
even that. Honestly,
Yeah.
The channel when we first started, back before all the split happened with certain people. I don't say who, but we all know who. But before that happened, that we were getting between 100 and 200 views per stream, which was to be expected for a channel with the amount of subs we had at the time, which was less than 1,000. But then for some reason the sub just kept on rising and rising and rising, and yet we were losing views and we were losing people in the side chat. And to me, it was a red flag. But again, this is back way before all this happened. So I wasn't. Anyway, we'll touch on that later.
Yeah,
but I do want to say one
other thing I wanted to add to that. She also bought views, where we would have a stream, and then exactly 1,500 viewers would pop into the stream over the course of like 90 seconds, but no one else would come into chat. It would just be the same 15 people in chat, and she every time she got money from someone, she would send super chats on all of her friends' channels, because that was a way to keep up her appearance and make it look like she really cared, because your name gets said, your super chat gets read out on the stream, so she would get money from people and then just blow it on super chats and subs and quote unquote business trips, and anyway, Punch, keep going.
Okay, so I was gonna say, I do want to try and keep this as linear as possible, but I'm going to hop off the tracks again for 1 second, because Crafty Keela had just said, at negative exponents, there is absolutely zero evidence regarding Red sleeping with her. Now I want to touch on that for a second, because I do agree there is zero evidence, and I don't think they did. So what happened was, I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to spread stories and shit, but. He did go there, and that wasn't what happened. That's not at all. He just stopped there because he was doing something. I'm not gonna say what, and that didn't happen, because I know that I've heard both their stories and they both match up perfectly. And also I know that it's, again, I don't want to touch too much into that. I'm trying to keep certain things private here, but yeah, no, there is zero evidence, and Keela's 100% correct with that, and that did not happen. And like I said, when it comes to Red's rhetoric, I don't know him personally that well, but I do believe that he had nothing to do with it. He was just being a nice guy. He just thought that she was his friend, and he was just trying to help her out as best he could, given his platform and what he had. And well, she fucked him.
Yeah.
Oh,
and she did that to a lot of people.
And then Crafty just said she had at 12 at least different sock accounts on different platforms. Yes, she did, and I will also touch on that as well. But
actually,
that answers
the
Exile's
super chat here
super
kind
chat
of
£2. Yeah, was Ilya operating other social media accounts? I'm pretty sure. pretty sure that's yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and like I
Yeah,
said,
she
I
had a
will.
lot of stock accounts, and she would get into conversations with herself
Oh yeah, and here's the thing,
in
I will
streams,
touch.
and she
I
would
will.
forget who is who and reply to her own question and weird things like that. And she also used her sock accounts to attack herself to get people to defend her.
Yeah, and so anywho, like I said, I don't want to get too much off track here right now. I want to kind of finish the story, then we can get on to all of that. But so where did we leave off? So there is fans, or oh yeah, so this was after she had done what she had done, and then I thought, well, holy fuck, this is not the person that I thought she was, because she had done the thing with another person. Again, my problem, not anyone else's. I'm just saying that was the turning point for me. And so that's when Quitties and I had started to speak and say, come to think of it, a lot of it doesn't add up now because now we're not looking through it with rose-colored glasses anymore. So that's when we had our doubts, and then we well, more specifically, Quitties did. I just kind of kept my mouth shut because again, the whole jealous ex thing. That's what people would have thought, right? And so we were basically met with just not insult, well, insults to an extent, but we were met with just with criticism and insults, and someone from the channel, and again, I'm not going to say who, but someone said after that I deserve to die alone and that I'm a piece of shit for doing that, which is fine. Like,
And called me a fleur for questioning certain things she said and did,
yeah,
and
honestly,
questioning her claims of cancer.
Yeah, and it's honestly fine because again, he was her friend, right? So he just wanted to stand up for her, and I get that. But anywho, like I said, he wasn't looking objectively at what was going on, which again I understand because if she hadn't done that to me, I wouldn't have either. Again, I'm not sitting here saying I was perfect in all of it. So some of the haters in the side chat are gonna fucking love to comment on some shit.
No, we're not perfect, and people are going to hate us. That even though we had nothing to do with her scam other than being there, people can think what they want. We're not here to really change people's minds. We're just here to give the perspective from those that were close to her when she was scamming people.
Yes. Yeah, so like
for 100 Czechlo, not Slovakian krones, Firmament Maintenance Inc. says, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate the super chat. And then we have one more. Where'd it go? I lost it. There it is. Rob Parks for 5 Freedom Units says, anyone have suggestions on what we should name at Jail Warren's beard?
Name it Cheryl.
I'm going to name it Mr. Magnificent because it's pretty sweet. Because this is the best I can do.
I'm 40 years old and I can't grow a mustache, so that's why I don't have a beard.
Ah, there you go. Anywho, so like I said, so we're almost at the end of this particular part of the story, and so yeah, this is after she had done that, and then we had Quitties and I had conversed, and we were thinking, now that we're looking back on it, a lot of it didn't seem to add up, and again, like even though some things didn't necessarily add up at the time, we just thought, we're looking too much into it because why would someone lie about all this kind of stuff, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so I chalked a lot of that up to, maybe I just missed something in our channel DM. Maybe I didn't see it. That's why I don't have all the story. That's why, things she's saying don't really add up. But I know I had been kind of I don't want to say questioning, but had an inkling in the back of my mind that maybe she wasn't being truthful about a lot of things for 2 months probably at this point, because we're in mid-November at this point. So things were really starting to get really suspicious for me. And then when all this happened, I kind of took a step back. I was like, all of this, I just need to step back and do some thinking. And the more I thought, the more I was like, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't add up here. And So I went to Punchy and a few other people on the channel and kind of said, hey, have you guys noticed any weird things, like any discrepancies? Because I'm getting this weird vibe. And Punchy and at least one other person from the channel basically described the exact same things that I had seen and that I was thinking at the time. And so I knew that I wasn't entirely crazy for thinking them. And of course, now, that's pretty much been vindicated. But yeah, at this point, like, it was pretty much an avalanche of, oh, she's lied about everything.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, there's a lot I could get to do personally. I'm not going to, but just know that there has been a lot. And so at this point, that's when we questioned it. And like I said, we were met with hostility as a lot of people were. And honestly, before this happened, I was the person giving hostility to some people that questioned it. So I understand.
Yeah.
I was very clear. That's not an apology on my part. Anyone watching, but I'm just saying I understand. And so we were there as well. And so anyone that kind of knows me in the community and has seen me around will notice that that I wasn't around for a long time because I just figured, fuck it, I'm done. I've been through enough. I have nothing to say. I don't know what to say or to do. So screw it. I'm out. And that's why, like I said, anyone that did pay any attention noticed that I wasn't around. And so I was gone, and I'm only back right now, honestly, because this has all been brought up again. So I've been kind of like, well, I need to share my side of it, right, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, and then that's when we come to the present day, where you did what you had to do research wise, and then FTFE and Reds did, and like I said, I did actually talk to Red last Monday, and because Ilya had admitted to lying about certain parts of it on, I believe, a Sunday, right, when she was talking to Nate.
Oh yeah, there was
Yeah.
some not truthful statements in there for certain.
Oh, by the way, that whole interview was the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my goddamn life. I was watching it and I was like, oh my god.
Punchy and I both watched it at the same time, and we were messaging back and forth like, yep, she lied about that. Yep, she lied about that.
Yeah.
We thought about how funny it would be just to do a debunk of that video, because she said so many things that we know are not truthful.
Yeah. But anywho, like I said, regardless of that, I'm not going to get into that too much. All I can say for sure is that, yes, there were lies that she said. And so when she had admitted to it, that's when people had started messaging me saying, hey, you might want to watch this or come see this, or can you talk to this person? And I was like, all right, I guess I'm getting pulled back into it. And honestly, I don't mind, because I want the truth to get out. Like I said, it's not going to clear my name. I don't give two shits about that. But I do want to, at the very least, have everyone that people paid money to her get their money back. Yeah. And that's all we're looking for.
That's a big thing, because, when I started questioning her cancer, when all this was going down in mid-November, and I started questioning it, when she flew back from Alabama, she had a layover in Charlotte, and I lived near Charlotte. And she had a layover for like 6 hours. And so we decided, well, I'll just drive to the airport, pick her up. We'll have lunch. That way she's not sitting around for 6 hours waiting for a flight. So I go and I pick her up, and she lost her wallet, which had her ID in it. And anyone who's ever flown knows that you need an ID to get through security at the airport.
Duh.
So, but the weird thing was, she didn't even open one of her bags to look for it. And I pointed that out when she was digging around. I pointed out, like, hey, is it in that bag? She was like, no, it wouldn't be in that bag. I didn't have any reason to doubt her because that was her clothes, whereas she had probably put her wallet in her purse or whatever. But still, you want to look everywhere for it if you've lost it, because
Well,
it's got your
Right.
ID, it's got your credit cards and everything in it. But she never even opened that bag. So I ended up having to drive her from Charlotte to basically Asheville, North Carolina. And her mom drove from Tennessee and met us just south of Asheville, met us, and I dropped her off with her mom. Uh, but I noticed when we had lunch, well, she was supposedly going through her cancer treatments at this time. And anyone who knows about cancer treatments knows you lose hair when you have cancer treatments. And I
Well,
sat
so
there when we were having lunch.
to be fair, that's not always the case, but there
Not
are
always,
Well,
yeah.
well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
before we continue, I do want to say this. She did send me a picture at the time of her, and the front of her hair was a bit thin, kind of like mine. But hers was due to potential
Yeah.
that as she claimed, and I did see that. And again, and like I said, with everything she told me and also showed me, that it all seemed to add up to an extent, and there were certain things that were questionable, but it's just
It adds
given
up
that.
well enough on the surface that unless you're already doubting it, you're not going to look into it anymore. And that's what happened to me. Like, as I was sitting there, I was looking at her hair and thinking, wow, I can't tell that she's lost any hair. Good for her. That's what I thought. But then when I started really questioning things, I was like, I probably should have seen, because she did say that she was losing some hair.
Hindsight is 2020. So
Yeah.
you got to understand that you guys are like the rest of us are victims of, a manipulation, a just gross manipulation, a gross scam. She's a fraudster. So
yeah, and one thing I do want to say is, so Crafty Kilo said earlier, she said that Crafty Kilo said at the plot hole, it is my understanding that the GoFundMe will be processed in the next 5 to 7 days. So Crafty, I really hope it is, because, again, I don't care who likes me or who likes Ilya or who likes Quitties. That's not my thing. But I do really hope that everyone that did give her money gets their money back, because I think it's complete bullshit. And
and that's something I've been sitting on ever since this happened. Over 5 months now that I've been sitting there, and I haven't been able to prove that she lied by myself, because I would have needed her to send those fake documents, and she hated me at the time. So why is she going to send me fake documents? So I've been sitting here for over 5 months saying, she probably ripped all these people off, and that's what I felt so terrible about. And that's why, Johnny, when this came up on your stream with Sean Hufford, as soon as I saw that stream the next day, I DM'd you. I was like, hey, you guys are onto something. Ilya does need to be investigated.
Oh, and by the way, I want to say
and
this.
There you go. We have just released who my source was. Thanks, guys. I'm just kidding. Really quick, Nerd Angle for $4.99 says, thanks for everything you've done to help bring these things to light. None of it was easy for anyone involved. Thank you.
No, it was not easy. And, I do want to apologize for my part in it. Of course, I hope that everyone understands that, no, I was not in on scamming anyone. I had no idea it was a scam at the time, but I was a part of it. I was on that stream, that fundraising stream, and at the time I did believe her, and I do apologize for that. I apologize to everyone that donated. I apologize to everyone that believed it. I've wanted to find out the truth for over 5 months now, and even though I knew that I would be attacked for things, I knew that the truth had to come out, and that people attacking me didn't matter as much as finding the truth for everyone who donated. So I was going to respond to what Keela said, but it disappeared. What did she say?
Oh, she was asking at what time you started. What the time frame is that you started questioning everything?
Really questioning. I would say Thanksgiving of last year. So mid-November of last year was when I really started questioning. But I had my doubts probably as early as August, maybe September. Like, I was starting to see that things weren't adding up that well, but at the time I was chalking it up to, well, maybe I just missed something. And one thing that I figured out that con artists and people that manipulate people use is they they get someone to trust them, and then because that person trusts them, someone else will trust them too. So because Punchy trusted her, he didn't bring up, hey, there's something wrong with this. And because Glober Mom and Mr. Serious and Mr. Victory, everyone in the channel, because they weren't questioning it, I thought, well, maybe I'm just weird for thinking that it's wrong. So I didn't question it.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers that, Keela.
But I was going to say, too, before this gets buried here, so Leslie Yu earlier on said radiation only causes hair loss in a localized area, whereas chemotherapy is the one that causes generalized hair loss. And yeah, and that's what we were saying, Leslie Yu. So that's what she had told us, was because she was going for radiotherapy and not chemotherapy, that it would potentially be lost in, depending on where it was exactly, kind of in that area. And so she did show me a picture where her hair was a bit thin at the front, like I had said. And but again, just, it's knowing how much work she puts into stuff, like to lie. I wouldn't doubt that she just grabbed a fucking lint roller and just plucked a couple hairs off. Again, that's my opinion. I'm not saying that she did or did not lie about the hair loss, because that I don't know. And in all honesty, I'm not saying she did or did not lie about having some sort of cancer in some way, shape, or form. All I'm saying is that she did lie about the funds that she had received and where they were going. And that's all I care about in this particular case.
So XL says, my last question may seem strange, but I'm really curious to hear from the panel about the voice changer on alternate accounts.
See, that one, honestly, I could not tell you. I don't know. Again, I was close to her, but I was close to her from an internet standpoint, as in I wasn't there. I don't know what she did. I could not tell you. I would love to have more information myself, but that I honestly, I have no outside information that anyone else wouldn't have.
Right.
So.
And I don't know anything about voice changers. That's actually the first time I've heard anything about that. But one thing I can say is that I know that she had at least half a dozen sock accounts that she would use in different ways. I know that she went into a stream with one of her sock accounts with a troll name one time and was hidden in that stream. She was attacking herself with her sock account in that stream, and then after she was hidden, the sock account name changed back to one of the members of Sit Down with Debunkers.
Yeah, okay, no, it wasn't quite that. So what it was, okay. I'm not going to say whose channel it was on. I'm not going to say where it was. But so what happened? So back when the whole this has been public, so I'll just say it. Back when the Crafty Keela / Ilya, EIE / Sit Down with Debunkers thing was going on, there was potential. Someone was mentioning threats of her being doxxed. Now, I'm not saying that was Crafty. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm saying that in general, that was what was going on with that. And so eventually, someone did on, I believe it was Twitter, they did give some of Ilya's personal information.
And I just want to add to that, whoever did dox Ilya, to a degree, it wasn't all correct information, but whoever did do it, it's my theory. I cannot prove this, so take this with a grain of salt, but I really think Ilya did it to herself.
And that's what I was
Just to
gonna say,
make herself look
but
better
I'll get back to
in
one
this
second
drama.
here. I'll get back to
Okay,
this
go
one
ahead.
second, but I want to touch on this before it gets lost. So Nikki P said at Punchy, Ilya has said on recording that she faked the cancer. Why are you saying she might still have had it? Now the plot hole, I did send Quitties a couple of screenshots, and if you want to pull that one up of the text that she had sent to me, I'll show you exactly why.
That's the one that you had trouble looking at yesterday, Johnny.
It is. Let me see.
See if you can get it now.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Oh, and while you're looking for that, I love how Exiled said Ilya doxed herself, because that's exactly what we're trying to get to with that. Is because so I think when the whole Crafty Keela / us situation was going on, and there was that whole potential threat of doxing, I do 100% believe that Ilya made that fake Twitter account and doxed herself just to get the one up on Crafty, because she is that fucking insane. And
because there was a perceived, whether it was real or not, that doesn't matter. In Crafty's video, perceived dox threat. So Ilya saw the opportunity to make herself look a lot better and make Crafty look a lot worse by being doxed on Twitter. So that's why I now believe that that was Ilya doing it to herself.
Yes. And by the way, I'm not going to apologize for everything, but I will apologize for this. For the people that were involved with the whole doxing part, if I thought it was you, I do apologize for that for everyone. I'm not going to get specifically because there were just a few people. But yeah, I'm sorry for that. And the reason I say that is because, again, so as Quitties was saying earlier, there was someone that we know, and this person had a channel, and they were doing a stream at one point. Now this was after the docs. This is after the docs, and then so during that stream, someone had come on to the stream in the side chat with the name Kim Oak, because that has to do with this person's personal information. So needless to say, at the time I hid it, and so after I hid it, as anyone who has a channel knows, that you have a hidden users list, which you can check at any time. Now this particular person, because they did that, they noticed that the name changed from Kim Oak to something else, and then I forget what it was, but then it went to Karina Rose. Now Karina Rose was one of Ilya's sock accounts, and that I know for a fact because she told me that it was, because so back when this was all going on, she made a couple of fake accounts just so she could still communicate but not be in the crossfire. And so I know for a fact that Karina Rose was her. And so for the fact that she went on with all that to perpetuate the drama is a complete fucking sack of horseshit. And yes, Crafty Keela, I see you there in side chat. Crafty Keela says, I can honestly say that it wasn't me. And Crafty, I believe you do 100%.
Yeah, I
not.
Now believe you too. I would not have believed you 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago, something. I still believed it was you that doxed her, but after everything went down, no, I believe that she did it herself. I believe you when you say that it was not you. And one other thing that I do want to touch on the sock accounts, we were doing Mr. Victory's show one night, and these really gross name sock accounts started showing up trolling us. One was called like Punchy's Bitch or Punchy's Whore or something like that. And at the time, this was during all of that drama. And at the time, we thought, well, it's got to be the people from EIE Network, because who else could it be? But now
you guys are really describing, and I'm not a mental health professional, but what I would understand is to be somebody who is a sociopath.
Yeah,
Because this didn't
yeah.
just get into this. Just wasn't like, oh, hey, I have a dog, but I really have a cat, or I lost my keys, but they're in the pocket. These aren't like your run
No,
of the
they're
mill things.
calculated
Yeah,
to make herself look better, uh, and try to gain a one up on who she thinks is the competition. And this is stuff like, I was on this channel, Sit Down with Debunkers, because these guys were my friends. They were all my friends, but also to make my show. And I've never cared about drama. I despise drama, and I didn't want a part in it. But I felt at the time, hey, someone's attacking my friends, so I'm going to stand up for them. And because I hate drama so much, I didn't really want to investigate it. I was just like, hey, we need to stop this shit right now. And unless I'm misremembering things, I'm pretty sure like everything I said in public was, hey, guys, just we need to find a resolution. We need to stop this because it's not good for anyone. But knowing what I know now, I would have gotten the fuck away from that channel when that was going on.
Oh, and me as well. I mean, I missed part of that, but yeah. But anywho, so yeah, I'm not sure if you guys spoke about the screenshot yet. But so
no, we were
so
waiting
this
on
is
you.
okay. So yeah, so if I people were saying in the side chat's a bit blurry. I'm gonna full screen here to see if I can see it better.
this is the best that it would
it's
come down. Unfortunately, I still think there was an issue with getting it from Discord. So.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I can try.
Do you want
sending
me? Do you want me to read it out, because I
Well,
can pull it up on Discord?
Well, here I have the actual thing on my phone, so I'll just read it out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So obviously I did block out her name and number because as much as I do not like her, I'm not going to dox any information about her. And if anyone is curious, I can send the plot hole the actual text without the block numbers if anyone wants to verify that it's true. But aside from that, that's why her name and number is blocked out. But I'll read it to you. Anywho, so I hadn't talked to her for a couple of months, like since the beginning of the year, and then she randomly sent me a message last Friday, and I'll read the entire message to you that she had sent me. I want to formally apologize. I became someone I hated last year. You didn't deserve the backlash nor any other mistreatment received. I sincerely have moved forward, gotten the right help, and found peace. I just wanted to sincerely apologize. I am not looking for friendship or anything. Just to say I am sorry. I hope you understand that good people go through bad times. I am a good person who took my bad moments and maybe someone even I hated. I am so sorry. Now, that's a load of shit. No, she sent me that on Friday because I think at that point she knew that she was going to get called out, and I think because she sent a message to a lot of people apologizing. I'm not sure if they were all the same or if it was personalized. Anyway, she sent a lot to a lot of people because, as I said, I think that she knew that she was going to get called out for it. Then I said a couple of mean things to her. That's what I do. But then we didn't talk again for the whole week, and then on Friday, she sent me a PayPal not donation, but a PayPal amount for around $87 Canadian. So I saw that and I was like, okay, cool. I didn't say anything. Then she had called me and I did not answer her call. And then she sent me a text after that. And her text says, now this is where I'm confused because when she spoke to everyone else, like Red and FTFE and all that, she said that she had lied about having cancer and a tumor. Now, in this very text, she does the exact opposite. So this is the exact text that she sent me. She said, "You can hate me, it's fine. But no, I didn't lie to you about everything. Nor did I lie about having a tumor and all. However, since I am not willing to play by online games, I am refunding it all. I do have a lawyer, and his name is Joe Fanduz, Fanduzz, out of Knoxville. You can Google him and call if you need anything. However, from this point forward, no one will ever hear from me again. Just my lawyer. If anyone wants to know about refunds, Google him and call him. He will let you all know. And then after that, so that's in the text here, or in the screenshot here that you can see. That's the text you sent me. And then I said after that, I said, if you weren't lying, you wouldn't have had to fake the documents, and you wouldn't need to be issuing refunds, and you wouldn't need a lawyer. And needless to say, I did not get a response.
Of course.
Yeah. So,
Jason Warren for $1.99 says, "Did she get death threats? I'm sure she's received death threats from someone named Ilya Moon, which
yeah, no relationship whatsoever to Ilya Moon or Ilya Moon.
Or
but no, just so we're clear, fuck you if you've sent her a death threat. If they are real, no one should ever send anyone a death threat, period. That's not cool. So
I can understand the feeling. I really can. Especially something like lying about cancer would evoke in a lot of people.
Yeah.
Write it down if you have to. Put it on paper, crumple that shit up and throw it away, burn it, whatever, just to get it out. But don't send people.
Yeah, if you have that feeling, keep it to yourself. And do not act on it either. But there was something that popped up before that. Is this the only scandal that we're going to hear about? And there is something else that I have talked to Johnny that, I couldn't investigate on my own, but on November 1st on Sit Down with Debunkers, we held a charity live stream for Doctors Without Borders, and we ate hot sauce. In fact, Johnny, I believe you came in and ate Reaper Squeezins with us.
He did. He had to take off a bit early, but he did come in. He did take a shot of it.
And we raised around $900. I don't remember the exact amount. Some of it was in foreign currency, and the conversion rate might be a little different now than it was then. I don't know, but it was around $900. And the following day, Ilya posted, I believe it was on the community tab for Sit Down with Debunkers, posted a screenshot. Thank you for your donation to Doctors Without Borders. And of course, at the time, I thought, hey, great. She already put the money in, even though we won't get the money from the super chats and everything until next month. She's already made the donation, and then that'll just pay herself back. But, because we know that she has scammed with the cancer fundraiser, now I wonder if she took that money and never, or maybe she donated a small amount to Doctors Without Borders and pocketed the rest. I don't know.
Or
I'm not going to say she did or didn't, but there's a chance. So that should be investigated.
It's all in question. Yeah. And that's what.
And that's just one thing that is in question.
Right. Dib says, pardon me if my question is stupid, but what evidence was there to accuse Keela of doxing to begin with? I don't understand why anyone would think Keela, of all people, would do that.
Okay, so Ilya had emailed Keela at some point from her work email, and it had her personal information that wasn't entirely correct in it. I think it had the wrong city name or something. I can't remember now. And, because I'm not in the group anymore.
I'll just pull up an email that she sent me back in the day. I'll see what the information said, and I'll tell you if it was if it matched what she had told me at the time.
Yeah, because there were only two people that had that information, and that was Ilya and Keela, because she had sent that email. Of course, if she sent emails with her work email to other people and just didn't tell us, then other people had that as well. But at the time, the only ones that we knew about that she had emailed from her work email, Keela was the only one. So she was the only one outside of Ilya or outside of our channel that had that particular set of information. So that's why we believed that it was her.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't anything personal. It's just the fact that, as Quitties said, we at the time were obviously given a certain amount of information by Ilya, and that information to us was that, as he said, no one knew her personal info aside from us and you, due to the email that she had sent, and which now we know is complete bullshit, because I am more than willing to admit that she probably doxed herself just to make some shit up, because she had a lot of sock accounts, which I can also touch on, because there was another one. Oh my god, this one's funny.
Okay, put a pin in that for a second. I am going to respond to this. Of course, Crafty, absolutely, you can speak for yourself. I would not pretend. I don't think anybody here would pretend to speak for you. Like I said, absolutely.
We're just trying to speak for ourselves now.
I think the response was to the question of why people would think that Crafty would do that toward us. Why did Quitties and Punchy believe that Crafty would be guilty of that, or you? I say Crafty in the third person. Why you would be guilty of that? And it's because, from what they understand, if I'm understanding correctly, and I'm not trying to explain to any, but if I understood you correctly, what you were saying is that there were very few people who had those specific sets of information.
Right.
Ilya, Crafty, and you were of the four that would have done it. You both knew that you didn't do it.
Right. I don't even have Twitter. Yeah, I don't even know how to use Twitter. So
neither. Yeah. and like we said, at the time, she lied to us and told us a bunch of bullshit. And like I said, now I'm 99.99% sure that she made a fake Twitter account to dox herself just to get the one up and say, yeah, look what Crafty did.
Yeah. Punchy, you want to reply to that?
All right. So Anna George said, oh, what a sweet comment. At the plot hole for Punchy, do you think you'll ever get fully back into this community? We miss you, bud. You went through some shit, and I'm sure there are many of us who still support you. Lots of love. That's very sweet. Thank you. I'll be in. Well, with COVID, I mean, there's not much I can do else anyway. But
well, you did make an announcement last night.
That is true. Yeah.
Punchy is joining NASA Bunker 33, so he's not going to be there every week, but yeah, he'll be there a lot, and I'm sure you're probably going to be in chat here and there.
Yeah,
just like everyone.
And so yeah, getting back to this though, so given just her deceitful tactics and her lies and just the way she manipulates people, we did send Johnny O a couple of screenshots from.
Well, hang on. Let's take a look at the screenshot that she sent me, the Discord DM first, and then we'll get into that. Because back when I left the channel, I blocked her after this, and I have not spoken with her since. That was on December 2nd, I believe, was the last time I spoke to her. But the last thing she said to me, and I've got to pull it up so that I don't misspeak here. The last thing she said to me on December 2nd, you all said I lied about cancer and picked that apart. It's over. No hold barred now. You messed with the wrong piece of the wrong puzzle.
Interesting choice of words there. For $2 not American dollars, General E. Shady says we need dead on facts or nothing else. To answer that, General E. Shady, we have put out dead on facts about Ilya's scam, the fraudulent fundraiser, her admission to running a fraudulent fundraiser. Then this is more context of what was going on in the background.
Yeah, this is kind of the deep dive into how everything happened and everything. We can show proof of things where we have that evidence, but a lot of it has been lost when the channel got deleted, when we left the DM, the channel DM, things like that, and there's no way for us to recover that evidence at this point.
Yeah, I did notice that as of last week. I forget the exact date, but the channel has been removed from YouTube because I tried to find it, and either I just can't find it or it's gone.
Yeah. No, I've looked too and it's gone because I was trying to find the where she posted the donation confirmation for Doctors Without Borders. Uh and the channel wasn't there when I looked for it.
Yeah.
Generally, E80 for another 2 says, I know, just saying, I believe it. Yeah, absolutely, General. It's like I said, it's a good call out. People, there's a reason why I don't rush to put stuff out. I want to make sure and put pieces together, properly vet information and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, it's important. That's a good call out to make sure that we get dead on facts.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you're not right, then it makes you look just as bad, right? And that's they gotta make sure that you're really not saying you're wrong here. I just mean like in a generalized way of saying, because you're 100% fucking right here.
Yeah. So when Ilya DM'd me that no holds barred thing, she started going around, and I know a few people that she told, but she started going around and telling lies about me to try to get other people in the community to hate me. And I know one person, I don't know if he's in chat. I don't have chat open. But King Crew was one of them. And he came to me and to Punchy both, just livid because she had told him that Punchy and I were just attacking her and all this other stuff. And we had to set things right with him. And, we showed the evidence that we could at the time, which were DMs just between myself and Ilya and Punchy and Ilya, to show that no, that's not what was going on at all. So we do know that, when we left the channel, she went around lying to try to destroy our reputations, which, looking back now, was probably a way to protect herself, because if no one trusted us, then the things that we knew, people wouldn't believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another
5 Canadian says, I just wanted to say I appreciate your journalistic integrity, Johnny. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's okay. And that's just another reason why I've just had to sit on this information for over 5 months. Just, I wish I could do something about it, but I can't until, it started to come up after the Sean Hawkins. Damn it, I did it too. Sean Hufford. After that, when Ilya started to get mentioned, I jumped right in. I was like, hey, investigate this. Like, I can't do it myself, but, enough people can figure this out.
Right. Well, you did provide a lot of good information that was able to help go back and corroborate with another witness or another source, going back and looking at different areas of timeline, which was important. That helped put pieces together, help put things together to line things up or show how things didn't line up. But yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. And, I'm not here to vindicate myself or anything. I wanted the truth to be out for, everyone that donated, everyone that believed her, because they're the victims. Or so I thought, and, now confirmed. But even if she had been truthful about everything, at least then I would have felt better knowing that she had been truthful and they weren't victims.
Right. Now, there are some other things that you brought to my attention. I'm not sure we want to get into them because I'm not. I mean, we've already shown her to be what she is.
Yeah, well, wait for Punchy to get back, and we'll see if we want to get into that or not. He was about to bring it up when I said, "Hey, let's look at this other thing first." Aw, it's a mini plot hole.
It is a mini plot hole. We had a turtle tragedy this weekend, so
Oh no.
they're getting ready to
Bury him.
yeah, give him his final resting place.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's sad.
I'm just jumping like.
Yeah, you're a silly girl. You gonna go out now? Yeah.
I'll bury him.
Okay. Anyway, sorry about that, guys.
All right.
Yes, no worries.
So, Punchy, do we want to get into the other thing, or do we want to leave it where it is now? Or
Well,
do you
I do want to show. I sent you some screenshots to send to Johnny, just regarding her son. And the reason I'm bringing this up, like I said, I know I probably delved a bit more than I should have. It's just gossip. I'll take the full blame for that. But the reason I want to bring this up is because this is what she said in public, and I do want to expose everything she said publicly, since it was obviously to everyone. If it wasn't to everyone, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But so this is what I had sent that someone in the community was. So this is back like early 2020, and this was when she had talked about her son who had passed away.
This was when she was
Now-
still on the shills, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
sure was. And and the reason that I found it so believable at the time was because I was, again, I knew her at the time personally, or well, I knew her at the time, but but so I was literally on the phone with her and we were talking because that's what we did at the time. And then she said, "Oh, I have to go. I'll call you back in a couple of minutes." So I was like, "Okay." Nothing in it, and not thinking anything of it. And so she called me back, and I couldn't tell you the exact amount of time. If I had to guess, let's say half an hour or something. And she was in tears, like super upset, just saying, "Oh my God, I just got a phone call saying that my son was in a car accident and he had passed away and all that." And so obviously at the time I was very concerned, and everyone else was too, because at the time no one knew her. And again, who the fuck lies to that kind of thing? Now I want to make this very clear before I continue. I am not saying that she didn't have a son, and I'm not saying that if she did have a son, that he or she, well, I shouldn't say she, but sorry, child, I should say, not son in that case, he or she didn't pass on. I am not saying that because that's a terribly disrespectful thing to say, and I'm not saying she lied about that specifically. All I'm saying is that she lied about who her son was. That's all I can say for sure. And that's where these screenshots will kind of explain that. And like I said, it's someone from the community, I'm not gonna say who, and they were investigating this person that Ilya had claimed to be her son, and they had spoke to them, and they got a pretty definitive answer, given the fact that the person was still alive when they talked to them. And this is after Ilya had claimed that this particular person had passed on.
Well, Ilya had said that her son had a YouTube channel, I believe it was, that he made music and posted his music on YouTube. And she shared the YouTube channel. And so this person got in touch with the person from the YouTube channel and said, "Hey, is this you? Are you the person whose name it is?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "So yeah, someone saying that they're your mom and that you died, but you seem to be still alive."
Yeah, and that's why and that's what I find so disgusting. Like, hey Johnny, could you show those screenshots, please?
Yeah, give me just a second. One second.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you read the super chat there? Maybe that'll make her feel a little bit better.
So
Aw, look at
generally,
that cutie.
Oz says, "Ice cream money for your girl. Looks sad. I'm sad too." Mistress Magda says, "Hey peeps, Rest in peace, a little toidle.
Mhm.
And then we've got one more. Wait, where'd it go? Come back here. One more from Godless Scummer for 10. That symbol, I think those are pounds. I can't see very well. I donated and plugged a fundraiser in good faith because I wanted to help someone I thought was a friend. I'm personally hurt because this started at the same time my sister was dying of cancer. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a terrible
And
thing to
that's
do with. So,
And I donated to her fundraiser as well.
so give me 1 second. If you guys want a little context, I got to take care of something really quick. I'll be back
Okay.
in like
yeah,
5
no
Okay,
minutes.
worries.
yeah.
Carolyn
I
Pride
donated to it too,
says
and
more
I feel
turtle
your
ice
pain, man.
cream. Sorry about that. There we
Good
go.
job.
Be right back.
Because I believed her and I wanted to support a friend and help her get through it. And, I kept telling her in our channel group DM, you're going to beat this. We're going to fight it and you're going to kick its ass. Fuck cancer. And, yeah, it was
Well, and
all
that's what
lies and she used us.
we all did. And what pisses me off the most is like honestly, like I said, because she lied about it at the time. But the fact that she literally told everyone that she was not getting treatment for cancer at the time, etc., and that she did make or not make up, but she did falsify the documents and all that. But then for her, that stupid bitch to fucking text me and say, I didn't lie about the tumor. Yeah, you fucking did. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
if you wonder why, if everyone wonders why I'm so goddamn pissed off, there's a fucking reason for it. And for all you fucking losers in the chat who think that I'm fucking being a dick to you, I don't give a shit. Yeah.
So one thing that I noticed on the call with Nate that I've seen her do 1,000 times, it feels like, is when she gets caught in a lie, she'll admit to something lesser
And then she'll
to
lie
try to save face. She'll lie. She'll lie and admit to something lesser. So in the call with Nate, when he called her out for what she had done, she admitted to changing the header on one of the documents. I think it was because the dentist didn't have cancer in his name or something, and she'll admit to something like that because that way she's not having to admit that she faked cancer, so she's lying and saying that instead. And she did that a lot. I know Punchy called her out on some stuff, especially after everything happened and we left the channel. He'd called her out, and I know that she would lie and say, well, yeah, I did that, but it was because of this. And that's what she does.
Exactly. Yeah. So and obviously, I'm getting a bit emotional here, and I've been drinking, which I know people said it fucking laugh. Yeah, but no, all that shit, it's such bullshit. And yes, it does piss me off knowing that I did stand up for someone for so long that I thought I could trust, and it's all lies. And it pisses me off. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And Roxy just said, "Don't forget, she likes to cry. She likes to cry to you, so you feel sorry for her." Yes,
Oh,
yes, she
yeah.
fucking does. Because Roxy knows as well. Because Roxy was part of the channel for a long time, so she was in that group chat that we had. And honestly, if Ilya didn't get, or sorry, if Ilya felt that she didn't get enough attention for a while, she would literally make something up and say, "Oh, someone raped me." And I want to make this very, very fucking clear.
Yeah.
I am not making fun of people that have actually gotten raped or that have had sexual assaults brought upon them. I am making fun of Ilya because she literally did fucking lie about it. Because
At least
story.
3 times that I know of.
Again, I didn't want to get into personal stuff here, but I fucking feel like I have to. So, back when Ilya and I last spoke before this was brought up, obviously, because we didn't speak for months before this, but back in I think it was February, she said that she wanted to move on, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And I was like, oh, well, we'll just talk when we talk. And then so we didn't talk for a week. And then a week after that, she messaged me just saying, hey, how are you? Like, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. How are you? And it was very pleasant. It was fine. Nothing wrong with that. And then I didn't talk to her again for another week. And then at the end of the next week, she just sent me a message saying, hey, can you talk? I really need a friend right now. And I just thought, because knowing Ilya, that the message was, it was going to be like, I went on a date and it went really bad or something. Just something to rub it in, right? So that's what she does. So I was like, fuck it, I don't care. So then a couple of days later, I messaged her and then, I was like, what did you want to talk about? Like, seriously. And she's like, oh, well, the other day, I got raped. And I was like, no, you fucking didn't. And I fucking called her out and she got pissed off me. She's like, you have no right to say that someone didn't get raped. And I was like, yeah, for most people, you're 100% correct. But for you, you're fucking lying. I fucking know it.
Well, back in November when we were still a part of the channel, and I still believed most of her bullshit, she said that one of her neighbors had this guy staying with him, and she went out for a cigarette and had talked to him a couple of times, and then he forced himself into her apartment and tried to rape her, and her dog fought him off. And she really played up the sympathy card. Like, I ended up having to talk to her on the phone for an hour and everything. She wanted me to come stay with her because she didn't feel safe, and I'm the closest person to her. We were about 5 hours apart or something. So all of that, but then I just happened to think about it, and I went back to that week in the news in her area, and I didn't see anyone. She said that he had been arrested, and I didn't see anything in the police blotter about someone being arrested for breaking, entering, attempted rape, or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a big one. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Conspiracy Cats. Holy my goodness, he's slumming today.
No one quite like him to flatten the flats.
So I've heard.
Love how you do your thing, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Love how you do your thing, sir.
By the way, Conspiracy Cats, man, he is one of my favorite debunkers. He is fucking amazing. He is comedy gold, and he's quite attractive and handsome too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
when I first got into the community, he was the first person in the community that I watched every one of their videos. Like, I just sat there for days. Every time I had free time, I would watch one of his videos and went through his entire channel watching them.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, before this gets lost, Nerd Angle said, "Christ Puncher, what can you confirm or deny about your involvement in the pop band Hanson?" I don't know.
Which one are you? Are you Taylor?
You promised you wouldn't tell.
The fact that you know their names, that's
the only one I remember is Taylor.
Was he the big one or the little one?
I'm sure.
Rib Tickler for £2 says, for young lassie and only her. Love. Thank you very much. She will get that. I will be sure to put that in the general fund for her college. Generally Shady for another 2 says, ice cream extra and give her a hug from Shady Bro. Will do. Absolutely.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of Mother's Day, since it is, depending on where you live and what the restrictions are, if you can go see your mother or aunt or any older female figure in your life, go do it, because it's one of those things that you take for granted normally. And today is Mother's Day, and I can't go see my mom because we're in lockdown and we can't go visit other people's houses. So if you can, go do it, because you might regret it if it doesn't happen.
And especially if your mom's still alive, definitely at least call her, tell her you love her.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just it. It's one of those things. Things happen. People eventually do pass on, unfortunately. But yeah, don't take it for granted. If you can, go. Like I said, I didn't specifically say mother or anything. Just if you're your mother, your aunt, again, some older female figure in your life. If she's been there for you and if she means something, Go do it. Like seriously, that's me being dead serious right there.
Yeah, I shouldn't fanboy over here, but I had to put this one up just because.
Yeah, I'm fanboying too. And I was so happy. God, it was about a year ago. I was in one of Conspiracy Cat's streams, and it was when my name was still Quit Asking Me to Sprinkle Them Titties, I think, or maybe it was Quit Asking Me to Sprinkle Them Chesticles. And he actually read one of my chats, and I was like fanboying out when he did. I was like, "Ooh, he said my name."
Yeah, and yeah. So I mean, I know that's not quite exactly what we're here for, but I'm just saying, do it. Don't take it for granted. You feel that I care about you unconditionally, so fucking show them that you care back. Anywho, back to where we were. What did you leave off on, Quitties?
We were about to look at the screenshots about the sun. Oh.
Let's see here. Screenshots. Let me get them. I've got them somewhere, I promise. What I did with them is one thing. Here we go. Now these ones, they came out pretty good, so I should be able to. It won't be too terribly blurry. All right.
And I'm pretty sure they are redacted fully so that
yes,
we're not doxing anyone.
Yeah, and so let's see. Where are we here? Let me get those up.
All right.
Okay, so this, like I said, it was sent to me by someone from the community. I'm not gonna say who.
Quick, let me get this. Let me the super chat. Godless Comer for 10 pounds says, I just wanted to say I'm sorry to anyone who donated to her based on me plugging this. I just hope that this whole thing doesn't stop our community being charitable whenever our own needs help. Godless Comer, let me say this. You have nothing to apologize for. You were a victim of a fraud and a scam.
Yeah, no, you literally cared for someone that you thought that you thought was your friend, as a lot of us did. You had nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with just being,
and you wanted to help someone. Them.
Exactly, and nothing wrong with that. She is the fucking stupid bitch that fucking knew that she was fucking lying about it. She knew that she was not going to treatment, and I'll say this. I know I said it wasn't get personal, but here I am. I would fucking talk to her. As I said, I talk to her every day on my drive home from work, and I forget exactly when her treatments were, but she was said they were Tuesday and Thursday, if I remember correctly. And she would literally tell me on the drive home from work, "Yeah, I just got back from treatment." That's how fucking gross it is. Like, disgusting.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point out really quick. I got a message on Discord and I didn't see it right away, but Punchy, when we were showing that last screenshot where she apologized to you, at least 2 other people from the channel got the exact same apology word for word.
Exactly.
So she didn't even make it personal. She just wrote a coverall apology to try to cover her ass. And
yeah, and like I said,
a few weeks back, she was talking to people that still would talk to her, and she kind of knew that this was coming. And one person messaged me and said that they think she was trying to prep them to defend her through this.
That's exactly what I thought, because when I again, I'm working nights right now, so I woke up like halfway through the day. I woke up to the message she had sent me, and I thought, like, what the fuck? So I told Quitties and I think a couple other people that I'm closer to. It's like, hey, yeah, so this dumb bitch sent me this, and like a lot of them were like, yeah, I got the same thing. Like, no, they didn't say word for word, but same thing in the sense that they also got an apology. And I was like, yeah, that fucking stupid cunt knows that she's in trouble, and she's going to fucking getting some
She
shit.
she
So
felt the heat as soon
Exactly.
as the Sean thing started coming out,
Yeah.
and she's tried to contact me. I know, but I have her blocked everywhere. I have her blocked on Discord. I have her blocked on my phone, and I just happened to be calling someone the other day and noticed on May 5th I got a call from her. But because she's blocked, the only thing that I can see is that she tried to call me. She can't text me or anything, so I know every time she tries to call me. So she was probably doing the same thing with me, but she can't get in touch with me.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about the screenshot.
Yes. So like I said earlier, this is as you see the date, like everything, like all the information is redacted because I don't feel that it's necessary or important. What's important is the conversation itself and the date. If you look at the date, it's the 3rd of February, 2020. And so I'll begin to read this to you. I know you can all see it, but I'll read it anyway. Anywho, hi. I'm sorry to bother you, but I believe your YouTube account is being used by a catfish my friend has recently met online, and she is claiming you are her son, and that you died in a car crash on Friday. It's really fucked up, and I apologize for this DM, but she sent me one of your tracks on YouTube, so I checked out your... And that's where it cuts off for me.
All right, let me get the other one. Yay.
You look sexy in those pictures. Just so you know.
Yeah.
No part in camera. That's what
Hey.
goes in this part right here.
Fucking Johnny, oh, for the
This
fucking
is-
win.
Look at that
Yum,
guy.
yum.
Look at that guy. I just scared everybody away.
Nah.
Sexy beast.
Hang on one sec. I thought I had them all there. No, that's not what I want. Stupid.
Yeah, someone was asking about the catfishing earlier, and yeah, we're getting into that now.
So what happens when you don't tech? I'm stealing your... Let me just do this. Hang on a second. Let me do this really quick. Give me one sec.
No rush, because guess what? Because of lockdown, I have nothing else to do today.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get people over to Creaky stream too. I know a lot of people would
Oh
like to
yeah,
have
yeah.
Johnny Welshman.
Well,
Oh.
while you're working on that, I'll go ahead and tell this part of the story. So, when I had lunch with Ilya back in November, I thought it was really weird at the time, but we were sitting there, and she said, "So now that you've seen me in person, you know I'm not catfishing Punchy." And I think she was trying to get me to defend her. And I was like, I've never heard of these catfishing allegations. Like, I thought it was just a really weird statement to say at the time. But I mean, in a way, yeah, she was catfishing Punchy because, she liked to send pictures that weren't actually her, which we'll see later in this string of text.
One second.
But I mean, yeah, she is a real person, but at the same time, she lies about everything.
Yeah. So anywho, I'll continue on with this. So I'll start from the beginning again. Hi, I'm sorry to bother you, but I believe your YouTube account is being used by a catfish my friend has recently met online, and she is claiming you are her son, and that you died in a car crash on Friday. And now, just so everyone knows that the date was shown on the other image, and it was February 3rd of 2020. Anywho, she said, it's really fucked up, and I apologize for this DM, but she sent me one of your tracks on YouTube, and so I checked out your social media links too, including Instagram, of course. when I saw you posted and were responding to comments after you supposedly died, I got very suspicious. I don't really know what else to say. I'm sorry that I have to send this. And then that person said, who's the woman claiming our son? And then that person said, her name is Ilya. Glad you're alive. What party phase? So that's really sweet of that person.
And I can't speak from personal experience, but I'm pretty sure it's really hard to respond on social media if you're dead.
Yeah, honestly, to respond on any platform, I think. Well, unless you're responding, like, say, in a seance or something, but I do not think this was a seance.
Or like South Park, a seance.
Yeah. Must not make offensive joke.
I'm gonna get better at this. I promise, everybody. I promise. I'm still learning the StreamYards thing, so. That should be
all
the
right.
next thing
Yeah, keep going, Punchy.
Okay. So that person said, her name is Ilya. Glad you're alive. Because that person's speaking out like that. Then they said, I'm so sorry to contact you regarding this. I don't think that is her real name. She had woven quite the web of lies, I believe, but I am trying to make sure that she cannot hurt my friend in the process. That being me, of course. And then that person responded saying, can I see one of her social media pages? And then they said, I appreciate you letting me know. And then that person said, I can send her Twitter, but just so you know, just so you are aware, she doesn't know that I know she is lying. She has no idea I've reached out to you. 1 second, I'll get the link. And then this person had sent the link. This person had sent Ilya Moon's Twitter link that she had at the time.
All right. Well,
No.
we can make the damn bar work. There we go.
Okay. So there's the page that Ilya had sent this person, and so they said she's in contact with a lot of my friends. We make videos together. None of them are a part of this, nor do they know that she is claiming false. Hold on, I'll show you something. And that person, the person that they were talking to, said, "Let me see." And then they said she sent this to a group chat after she told us you were dead. And so, as you can see in that Discord part there, there's a link to that person's YouTube or whatever it is.
You ready for the next?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I hate how you have to make it smaller before you can go to the next image.
Yeah, it's very strange.
There you go.
All right, and so the last one here. So yeah, that person said, "That is you in the video, yes?" And they said, "Yep, that's definitely me." To which they responded, I'm so very sorry. Is there a picture of the woman? Because my mom is involved with online stuff." And then that person said, "No, that's the thing. No pictures, but one that I've seen in the past month, she had pink hair or has had pink hair, if that helps." Now, of course, the person that was talking or that reached out to this person did not know that the picture that they had received from Ilya was a complete fucking farce. Ilya is not that skinny or attractive. I make that very clear.
Yeah.
All right. More?
Yeah, go to the last one.
Okay, cool. All right.
No.
See, we figured it out, right?
All right.
We're learning.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
But joking aside, so yeah, that is not a picture of Ilya, and if it was, it would have been from 20 years ago. And
Yeah,
Ilya
that's far too skinny
Ilya,
to be her now.
Ilya does not have those tattoos on her arm. So that's a complete fabrication. She made up that as well. And so as you can see, the person that was talking to this person said, "Is that your mom?" And then they said, "That's the only other picture I've seen of her." And the other person didn't respond clearly, but that's basically it just goes to show that's how willing she is to lie about everything. Now, I'm not sure how she is in person, because I've never met her in person, but all I'm gonna say is when it comes to online stuff, she is a complete fucking fraud. Like, literally everything she says is bullshit. Now, it's true, I have seen her on video, so that's why I was very I didn't think much of the pics that she had sent me, because I just thought, well, if we're on video and I'm literally seeing her in real time, huh, why would you, right? But no, it's a part of her. I don't know if you want to call it a plan or I don't fucking know, a pity thing. I don't fucking know. All I know is that it's all fucking lies. That's all I can say for sure.
Well, a lot of stuff she claimed was because she had a security clearance for her job, so she couldn't be herself online or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why she didn't want people to know who she really was. Which, that's a great cover if people kind of trust you to begin with. That's a great cover to keep them from looking into you.
But why are you making content on if you're that
Yeah.
concerned about your position? Why are you making content on the internet to begin with?
Well, what I would say is, so to me at least, anyone that's online, you are absolutely entitled to your anonymity online, right? You don't have to say
Sure.
who you are. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give your address or your phone number, etc. That's fine. But if you want to remain anonymous, then remain anonymous. Do not give fake pictures, because that's fucking lying. That's you literally lying about who you are. If you, at least if you're truthful,
Mhm.
at least if you're truthful about being anonymous, then there's nothing wrong with that.
That's all you really need, right? Yeah. It
Yeah,
seems
but-
Do like
the
Red's
call for
rhetoric did and just say
anonymity.
you're too ugly to show a picture of yourself.
Hey, I'm ugly as shit, and here I am,
Yeah.
ladies.
Or you just say, "Hey, look, I don't share pictures." Period. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a very interesting dive into the goings on of Sit Down with the Bunkers and how deep her manipulation and her lies went. I really do appreciate both of you guys coming on. Is there anything else you guys want to share before we wrap the sucker up? And
I mean,
send it over to Creaky?
I just wanted to say, I do apologize for my part in everything that happened, what I am responsible for, because I was manipulated by her, and she got me to fight for her, quote unquote, for way too long, longer than I should have. But when you think you can trust someone, you just don't have that skepticism to say, hey, they're totally full of shit. But then it started piling up, and I couldn't ignore it any longer. But I do want to apologize for that, for for everyone that was hurt by her, for everyone that was conned by her. I was conned too. I was hurt too. And I'm sorry that she did this to everyone.
Punchy?
Yeah. That's it.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so my sentiments are very similar. I also do apologize to I'm not going to apologize to people specifically, because I didn't know. I was standing up for a friend, and I'm not going to apologize for standing up for a friend. Fuck that. But I will say I apologize for what happened, and I do apologize for the way that I acted certain times, because that was me being me. I am an adult. I understand that I wasn't told to act the way that I did. But I am not going to apologize for the bullshit that she had on everyone, and that led to this. Yeah, other than that, I just hope that we can move on. And when I say move on, I don't mean we have to be friends for those that are watching that don't like me. I'm just saying I hope we can just be civil. That's what I'm really hoping for.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Nikki says Punchy. Well, she said Pinchy, but I think you meant Punchy. Pinchy, you are currently saying you are sure Reds is legit. Not currently. That was like half an hour ago to an hour ago. But even though there's a vast amount of evidence saying otherwise, and you won't provide us crap to back up your view. Well, here's the thing, Nikki. I don't give a shit. Red's rhetoric is not my. He's not my boyfriend. He's not my fucking brother. He's not my dad. He's not my girlfriend. All I'm saying is I don't think that he was. And I want to make this very fucking clear to everyone fucking watching right now. I don't care what your fucking opinions and views are. I came on to fucking say what I had to say. If you like me, you do. If you don't, you don't. Fuck off if you don't. And if you do, fucking A. Otherwise, that's it. I know it's went downhill very fast, but that kind of pissed me off. Nikki B, go fuck yourself. Sorry.
So I want to reply to what Rob Park said. Just to make it perfectly clear, I had no idea that she had lied about her son being dead or who it was or anything until maybe a week and a half ago. I had suspicion, but I didn't have any evidence until the screenshots that we showed surfaced. When they surfaced, then, I knew that she was lying about it. But at the time, I mean, even when I left the channel mid-November, I still believed that she had been truthful about that. Because who the fuck lies about stuff like that? I mean, of course, she lied about that. She lied about being sexually assaulted. She lied about cancer. So she's willing to lie about pretty much anything.
It's important to remember that when you're dealing with somebody who is so manipulating, that it's not, somebody to pull something off for as long as she did. It doesn't start out with, "Hey guys, my name is Ilya Moon. I have cancer." No, it's, "Hey guys, my name is Ilya Moon. I've just left this. I just got out of a relationship. I don't really want to talk about it." Mm-hmm. And then it's, "Oh, hey, this relationship that I didn't want to talk about. Look, there's some stuff going on in the background." It's very small. It starts out real tiny. They plant seeds that they tell you things that are easily believable. Right? That's easy to believe that she was in a relationship and that split, right? That she's escaping from that relationship. And it's easier then because you believe that first part. Now, well, we're going to add a little bit to it. And then we're going to add a little more. And then we're going to add a little more. And all of a sudden, we went from I'm just getting out of this relationship to I was verbally, sexually, and physically abused. All these bad things have happened to me. All these things that are, really pulling at your heartstrings. Man, I'm just a walking woe is me. And by the way, now I've got I was just recently diagnosed with cancer. I'm fighting on all that stuff. So these things start out as a little manipulation, as a tiny manipulation, and they continue to add things to this to build on and build on and build on and build on. And they have no problem using whatever they think is going to work to get you to emotionally get invested in the person, or at least the person they are putting out there.
Yeah.
You're literally explaining what the last year of my life has been.
Oh, and believe me, mine as well. Like the fact that I Quitties as well, that we literally stood up for her, that we supported her through everything, and yeah, we lost friends due to it because we just thought that was the case. Now, and like I said, there are going to be people inside that are going to say, "Oh, well, it's not her fault that you acted the way you did," and I completely agree. I am very well willing to apologize for the part that I played. If someone feels offended by me, you can send a number to 1-800-EAT-SHIT. But I do apologize for how I acted. I'm actually being serious about that because it wasn't 100% right, but I'm not going to apologize for standing up for a friend. I'll never do that because guess what? If any of you in the side chat were my friend, I would do the exact same fucking thing for you. So if you're not giving me shit for that, well, okay. But like I said, with Ilya, that was a lot more bullshit than most people will dish out. And like I said, there's a lot. Anyway, there's more that I could get into. I'm not going to get super far into that because that's all personal and it's not relevant and it's just not necessary. But there's a lot more that she has lied about to me personally and Quitties probably. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Creaky's live, so what the fuck is anyone still even doing listening to us?
That's the thing. I'm going to kick you guys. I'm going to kick everybody out so you guys go check out Creaky. He's much more entertaining than I am. That's for certain. Be sure to go check out everybody's favorite Welshman without an accent, Creaky Blinder, right after you leave out of here. Tell him that Johnny O sent you. Flood him with Johnny O sent you. And then tell him he doesn't have an accent.
Wait, hold on. This fucking this nutter guy, Nutgar or Nutter, this Punchy fellow seems pretty proud of himself for a jilted cultist. I would love to see you fucking elaborate.
All right. We're not.
I know.
Like I said, we're gonna let that stuff. We're gonna let that just
Yeah,
water
people
over the
can
bridge.
think what they want. I'm not here to change their mind. I'm just here to state what happened. And if you don't want to like me, then don't fucking like me. I mean, I can't do anything about that. So why would I try?
Exactly.
And again, this whole thing we wanted to make sure and give a little more context. Both Quitties and Punchy contacted me and said, "Hey, there's some more context about things that are going on underneath that you might want to be aware of." These are things that these types of streams are extremely important because it allows people to be angry. It allows people to get pissed off. It allows people to deal with the emotional baggage that comes with being conned by
and the thing is too, it's not just that. Like I said at the beginning before I got a bit emotional, it is more or less just to actually straighten everything up and make sure that people knew the exact story from what Ilya had told all of us. Because like I said, I've seen a couple things in side chats where people were saying things like, this person said or did this, and I was like, well, no, that's not actually correct, and that's kind of why I wanted to kind of straighten that up. Now, it's not to say that I didn't get a bit emotional here and got into more than I initially intended on, but that was the point of it. And so thank you everyone for being here. And
yeah, thanks for listening to us ramble on. Well,
Yes.
to Punchy ramble on and me interrupt him.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Hey, there's Quitties all by himself.
Hey, I'm waving.
This is what happens when you don't. There we go. And there. Now this is a solo shot. I really appreciate everybody coming hanging out with us today and getting some of this stuff out. It's important to talk with your fellow person. I know it's hard, especially when emotions get involved. It's difficult to kind of separate the emotion from logic. It's tough to do. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be emotional. I'm not saying you shouldn't work through those things, but it's important to do those. It's important to, even if you don't like Quitties and Punchy, hear what they have to say. Whether you agree with what they have to say or not, that's completely up to you. I am not here to sway you one way or the next. I would just like to produce and give you guys a complete picture. That being said, should anybody else have any other things that need said, if I can facilitate any kind of closure or mending of bridges or whatever you guys need, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. Be it offline, if we don't want to, you don't want to come on and do one of these, whatever, that's fine. If I can, set some things up offline to help some people mend some bridges, that would be perfectly acceptable for me. Mr. Steve says, please put this towards the new turtle fund. If you're not getting one, please treat Mini Plottle. We are getting a new turtle. Just don't tell them yet. The new turtle will be here Tuesday. But yeah, I appreciate it. Everybody, go check out Creaky. Go bombard him with Johnny O from the Plot Hole sent you. Peace out. I love you guys. Be good to each other.
Peace.
Bye.